Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm back. I had a break. I had a week off, guys. All right, chill out. Come on, I'm allowed to have a break now and again. I've worked so hard. We did the Battle of Shrewsbury and the Mile of Smiles all in one weekend, and that content, I was like, we can drip feed that for the next 2 weeks so I can have a break. And we did Legoland and Warwick Castle and all sorts. We went out and just really enjoyed myself.
That doesn't sound like a break.
Not your kind of thing?
Yeah, it's good. It's just hard work, isn't it? School holiday, hard work.
School holiday is... my wife has been amazing because she's just found so much for our Timmy to do, to go out there and do. Today he's gone to club again. Part of the Shrewsbury Up-and-Comers, they have like football camps and activity camps and stuff.
Nice, yeah.
There's beavers and we've been taking them away. It's been really, really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and you've brought your little one today. And
yeah,
so
she's here.
How's your summer been?
It's been great. I'm trying to think what Pearl's done. I've been really busy because I'm divorced, so she spends time with her dad as well. So whenever she's with her dad, I try to cram everything in.
Yes.
And then when she's with me, I bring her along to meet you.
Yes. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. What's your name again? Sorry. Pearl. Pearl's just sat there. She's listening to her music. I tried to find an aux in so she can listen to our conversation, and a microphone actually, because you're a great talker. We've been chatting for 5 minutes.
She's a talker.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, today we're coming from Daily Brews up in the town square there. I was looking for a venue, and they very happily said they'd accommodate us. So there's going to be grinders going on. You can hear the hustle and bustle of a cafe, and I found this is one of my favourite places to come and sort of disappear and edit. They've got like USB lead inputs and stuff on the top of the chairs and places you can plug in your laptop and stuff. So I like to come here, and I call it being socially antisocial, because I come here, be around people, and then shut them out by listening to audio and stuff.
Yeah, understood.
And Cherie, last time we spoke was at DRAWN, right? DRAWN. How was that for you?
It was amazing, really, really good. So needed. After being in lockdown, just seeing fellow artists and the public, Shrewsbury, they came out and they were really supportive and just lovely. It was really lovely. I
think it was at that stage where people were just really grateful just to be out there, isn't it? And I felt that. I mean, there was a bit of anxiety, I'm not going to lie, of being out there. I mean, when we were doing the Battle of Shrewsbury and stuff, it was when we were watching the actual battle take place, the people were getting really close, and it was almost like festival style. And I was kind of like, whoa, it's the first time this has happened for a while. It's quite intimate,
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's my latte. Oh, that's needed. I'll
Absolutely.
talk more when I've drank this. I'm not sure that's a good thing. You've got one on the way.
Yeah, I've got one here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm not pouring fruit shoot into this. This is a mocha shot, a keto-friendly mocha shot. Okay.
It does look like he's adding a little shot to his...
Don't go pouring fruit shoot into your coffee, guys.
It's in a purple fruit shoot bottle.
Well, got to be economically friendly and stuff, So, Cherie, where does everything begin for you? It's like, where do artists come from? This is what I want to understand. Is can you force yourself to be an artist, or are you just an artist? Do you know what I mean?
There's that quote, isn't there? Artists are children that never grew up.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's all about play and having that license to use your imagination, right?
Yeah, and it's being brave enough not to be pulled into just the daily grind of doing something. It's being brave enough to go outside of that. And do stuff that might not get recognised, but doing it because you love it.
Ah, okay, yeah. Because where does it begin for you? How did
when I was at school, I used to get, like they'd say, "Oh, can you draw this for me?" And I realised then that I had something that was a bit special, because if we had something to draw in class, my mates would all say, "Can you do it? Can you do it for me?" And I guess that was my thing. Some kids are good at sport. I wasn't. So that was my thing. And I realised that my best bet in life was to focus on something that I was good at. So that's where
that's really good, because there's some people, I've spoken to artists and people that are brilliant at being creative, but there's always that like, oh, I need to go and be a lawyer, or I need to go and be a doctor, or I can't do this. It's not going to pay the bills. My mum and dad don't agree. Like, was there ever any of that for you?
There was a careers advice. The lady said to me, it's hard to be an artist. So perhaps you'd be better going down the fashion route, which I was interested in anyway. But she said that's more of a career. So I was a frustrated. Well, I love fashion, but I always tried to do the art side. I was a fashion illustrator, but I was frustrated for many years drawing shirts for Moss Bros, uniforms.
Wow.
For the Body Shop.
It's quite a claim, though, to be able to say you worked for Moss Bros,
Yeah. I was design assistant for a few years down in St John's Wood, South London, well, sort of, almost south. I've got about, I can certainly say that.
So what the mindset of somebody that's in a job that is great, it's got a great, you put that in your CV and everybody will, wow, okay, that's a great thing, but you're frustrated in that job.
Yeah, I used to go in on a Saturday and I got a nice job for All Saints, the clothing company, and I'd go in at the weekend and I'd be using the photocopy and I'd be sort of sweating because I thought if anybody comes in, I'm not doing the work for this job. I was moonlighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of doing little bits on the side and
stuff.
I heard, I interviewed, this is a pull from a few years ago, I interviewed Frank Whiteley, who's a comic book artist who draws a lot of Superman and stuff. The Grinder. I said they would be there.
This is when I drink my tea.
Yeah. We spoke to Frank Whiteley, who was he's an artist for Superman, DC. He's very famous. And the reason why he goes into the name as Frank Whiteley is that was a pseudonym, because when he was younger, growing up in broad Scotland, being an artist, it's not a thing for a guy, it's not a thing that guys do. So he used the pseudonym Frank Whiteley because that was he was born, that was the era.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing for guys to do.
Yeah, love that.
I love it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So obviously, quite frankly, Frank.
Got it.
Yeah. So how did you taking the brave, bold step to move away from fashion to do what you want to do?
Well, it was kind of after having my daughter, actually.
Yeah.
I moved from Dalston to Shrewsbury, which was quite epic in itself. Having a child, I do tend to think you lose yourself a little bit because you have to devote all your time to a little person.
Yes.
And so then I could kind of come back and think, well, who do I want to be? Do I want to be the person I was before, or this is an opportunity? So I went to Manchester and did a MA, which was very deep. Lots of why are you doing this? There was some tears. And then I came back. I launched Cherie Did This because I realised I had been doing a lot of work without people knowing I was doing it. So I'm really proud of my Kickers t-shirts, for example.
Kickers?
Yeah. I drew the Kickers boot and it was repeated as wallpaper, as t-shirts. It's awesome.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I loved that project, but nobody knew I did it,
And this is the thing, isn't it? Speaking to like Charlie Adler, I don't know, and he's like, I can walk through a Comic-Con and people will walk past me and they'll go straight to a star from The Walking Dead, but they walk straight past Charlie Adler.
I saw him out jogging somewhere the other day, though.
Oh, you always see him out
I thought, there's Charlie Adler, so he doesn't get away with it around here.
Not around here, no. So are you from Shrewsbury originally, or?
Ludlow School.
Oh, right, okay.
Although I was born in Swindon, which I can't claim to know much about, but I'm not from these parts officially.
Oh, okay.
Although I did have quite a strong accent when I first went down to London, and I had a bit of stick for that.
What is the Shrewsbury accent, though? I mean, I listened to conversations. It's a bit of both. I've heard the hello, I'm from Shrewsbury. Just the plain I'm from Shrewsbury. Well, I think people from Shrewsbury are just well spoken. They're just nicely, calmly spoken. There's something in the water though. People always tend to come back. There's a lot of creativity here. People do tend to go away, make a thing, do a thing elsewhere, and then come back to Shrewsbury. What do you think it is that pulls people back in?
Well, I know from experience. I had a clothing line, and I was doing well. I was selling in Topshop, but inevitably I had spare stock, and my mum said, I'm going to open a shop in Shrewsbury and I'm going to use your spare stock because why not, And so I obviously couldn't bear not to get involved in that. So I kept coming back, and then I started to realise that the community, or just people that came into the shop and I'd chat, and you didn't get that in London, you know. I didn't even know my neighbours.
Mind if I take a picture while we're doing this?
No, go for it. Shall I don't know if I can talk. And I just go and laugh. Oh, hang on. I've been photobombed by my daughter.
Brilliant. I love it. So yeah, you came back because of that then?
Well, yeah, I just enjoyed the people, basically.
I've heard that so much. And you know, I spoke to Jamie Russell, who's a local author. Go and buy the book Skywake, guys.
Oh yeah, talking about that book, Pearl, the Skywake.
Skywake, yeah. Jamie Russell, he came on my show. He's a great guy.
It is a great book.
Yeah, you're going to do an interview with him.
Well, he went into their school. We've got the book. I had to get it. Pearl was insistent, and I'm loving it too. You know, when you read a book and you actually enjoy it, it's God's.
I've yet to read it yet because I don't know if it's be good for my 6-year-old, but my 13-year-old daughter, maybe she might enjoy it. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Pearl's into it.
Yeah. I'll have to give it a whirl. Jamie, I'm sorry I haven't read your book yet, okay, if you listen to this. But no, Jamie, I spoke to him because he's a Londoner, and he came up here, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting concept, because I do speak to a lot of people that move away and come back, and he was like, when you're in London, and he's a Londoner, and he goes to, he goes there, he's head down, straight away, he knows he's there, head down, don't talk to anybody, get on with it.
My mum would come and visit, and she'd be smiling at everyone, you know, hello, and I'd go, Mum, you just look, don't look at them, don't look them in the eye, you know. It took me a while to shake that, actually, when I came up here. I had that air about me. I remember being a bit like, oh, but it's worn off now.
And what's the fashion industry like? As you know, there's lots of cliche stuff in the movies and TV and stuff like this. It's a dog eat dog, you know, kind of quite a hard world. Did you find that?
Moss Bros was very male. I did.
All right, darling.
Yeah, lots of men running the show, and I was young, blonde, and it was tricky. I could recite a couple of events but it's a delicate thing to bring up, really.
Yeah, of course.
But looking back, I was very. I don't really know. I was a sort of. It's almost the secretary role, you know, working for the guys. They get you to do stuff. They can be. I don't want to say too much, but it was. You wouldn't get that away with that now.
No. Okay. Well, I totally understand. I mean, I always wonder how, you know, you do see these things, The Devil Wears Prada and all these movies, and I always wonder how close they ever got that, you know what I mean? But,
well,
you know, it's...
I think in magazines, it was a different world then. If you wanted to get publicity, I'd have to go to one of the big publishing houses, try and get past the receptionist, get up to the floor with a magazine, and then the lift doors would open and you'd see everybody's backs. You know, they were working on a computer, and you'd be like, we're just picking in some samples, you know, hello. And if you got on with someone or you gelled, it was fine, you know. I had an air guitar t-shirt at the time, which was in Kerrang. And
wow.
I know, having been in Kerrang, it got really big, but it was a case of trying to infiltrate the magazines, which you just don't need to do so much now. It's
crazy though that you had to do that to get in. Like,
I can still remember my heart rating now as the racing as the doors opened on the lift, and I thought, right, I've got to try and find someone that will give me time of day here.
So there's Moss Bros, there's Kickers, there's the Kerrang. So how many claims to fame do you have with your fashion?
Well, lots, but I'm not consistent. I don't know what it is. As soon as I've conquered something, I sort of think, I suppose I don't value what I've done, and then I'm looking for the next thing all the time.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that. I do speak to a lot of artists that I like that. It seems like a trait where even while you're working on your current piece, you're looking at the next one, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's hard to own something. I think that's the fashion in me, though, because every season you had to reinvent the wheel. You know, it was autumn, winter, spring, summer, and that's why I shifted over to illustration, because I knew it had more longevity. It was something that people would cherish. With fashion, it's slowed down a lot now. You know, it's all about slow fashion and calming things down. But yeah,
I've been learning a lot from my friend Eric Fluger, who is an amazing world famous artist. and we've been doing this show called Yelling at Clouds, where he talks to me about art, and we've been learning a lot about kinetic art.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, he likes James Joyce and all these amazing people, and he's teaching me a lot, actually.
Yeah, it sounds like he could teach me a lot. I'll have to,
When it comes to like the difference between fashion and graphic design or illustration, and is there a difference in the way this art moves people?
Well, my career was blended, because I got at Mossbros, I did get a lot of graphic design training, which was great, and then that became as strong as my art background. So quite often I'd be hired to do the art to go on the T-shirts. So it's hard to say it was just fashion, but it was like fashionable graphics. When Maharishi was big, you used to have all the graphics on do you remember the cargo trousers with all the embroidery up the leg and how big that was? So it's kind of art and fashion is a bit of a blur to me, really. It's not so much. I did do the stuff where you just design the garments, but it's all mixed in.
It was crazy when I was growing up. I mean, I'm an 80s kid, so it was like the 90s for me. I never used to think we lived in an era. You kind of present in there. You had the 60s and the 80s and all these kind of the punk rock, the big hair, and all this, something that identifies an era. But we did. We had the poppers trousers and the bright white Reebok trainers and the Nike Air were just everywhere, Air Max and stuff. We had our own dress sense. And
it was exciting back then, wasn't it? I can still feel the buzz. I tried to make a puffball skirt in my bedroom, and oh my god, it just kept going round the hem, because to make a puffball it has to be basically a circle and then tucked under. Oh lordy.
Wow. And then you got to the noughties and it was all lines over the sleeve, down that big.
Yes. I was doing a lot of lines at Laser. It was like different coloured lines. Yeah, and I remember thinking, God, and Prada came out with a very sort of workwear utility look, so we all had to look very bland, actually. It toned it right down from the 80s. Yeah.
We were talking about these Jurassic Park trainers that have just been released.
Oh.
Green things with the red swirl, and I was just like, they're cool, but I'd have to buy them and put them on a shelf because my dress sense is.
Let's have a look at your trainers. Hang on, I'm going to look at the you haven't got any trainers?
But I wear a lot of Converse and Vans and DC trainers, and sometimes I'll be looking at a pair of Converse and I'm like, they're great, But I can never pull off bright colours, and
I reckon you could.
I got the red shirt on today.
I reckon that there's no doubt you definitely could.
Well, on a sunny day, I mean, when I was at the Mile of Smiles, I had a tropical shirt on and the yellow T-shirt, but that's a very rare thing. But when it comes to doing animation, where did you start off? What did you start working on? What excited you so much you need to get out and do this?
I'm guessing you mean graphics, because I dabbled in animation.
Sorry, my bad.
I did dabble in it, but there was. I won't go there because I only know a certain bit about it. But graphic design.
Yeah, graphic design, please.
Well, it was just my way of drawing, and I was using clothes instead of paper.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I've got a thing here. I can do this by myself. Where did you go with it?
I had a job in the East End working for Local Boys with a Z. And we used to basically, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say, I guess it don't matter. We used to basically rip off brands. And it was an awful thing to do, but I was just employed to do it. And it made me learn a lot again, because every day you'd have to go in and do a process of drawing graphics, and it's just the repetitive. I mean, that's what's good about a job. You get good at stuff, don't you? Because I haven't worked for anyone since 2000, but when you do the same thing so many times that it becomes ingrained in you. So I learnt to draw in Illustrator really quickly because I was doing it every day. But then it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't the person who I am. And the two guys I worked with, they both went on to amazing jobs. One went over to Puma in Germany, and the other one, Levi's in Amsterdam. So we all went our own way, and it was just a foundation, I
learned the hard way with doing graphic design, because I thought, I'm really good at this. I've got affinity. I can make logos. I make my own logos and stuff, And then when it came to the Pod Aid stuff, and it came to our logos, they were like, are your logos vectorized? And I was like,
that's it.
Are they what now? Are they vectorized? And I was like, sort that out. And I thought it was something I could do in an hour. It took me like 6 or 7 hours just to get everything vectorized. And
I could have helped you with that, actually.
Oh, bless you. I wish I'd have known. But yeah, it's all a case of I'm learning every day. So, you know, folks like yourself, graphic designers are both very inspirational, but they're also pains in the arses.
Yeah, they still are, to be honest. And it keeps evolving. You know, like we've got Procreate now, which is where you can draw directly onto the iPad, you know, and that wasn't around before. So, and for me, getting a bit longer in the tooth, there's always a challenge. There's always something new coming out, and I have to keep putting myself through the pain barrier.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about that. Let's go from like the physical sort of drawing on paper, tracing it, whatever, you know, your process, to move into a more modern era where everything's done with a PC.
And it's all about the process and showing people what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, I want to talk to you about Twitch. I'm having to communicate what I'm doing now. Because whereas, like I was saying before, back in the day, you take your stuff for a magazine, they mention you. Now you have to physically say, this is what I'm doing, you know, and find ways of showing people.
Is that so it can be commercially reproduced, or just as a workshop type product?
I'm an ambassador for various brands. They send me products, and they like me to show the public what I do with them.
Okay.
So I'm it's like I've suddenly had to be another. I have to learn about all these technological ways of sharing my work, which I know to a point. But oh man, it's like I just thought I finished learning. I've got to learn some more.
It's the same for. Like, there's something new every day, isn't it? It's TikTok. Before that, it was Snapchat, and then it was. Twitch is great. I mean, I when it comes to streaming, I used YouTube and Facebook. Twitch is like something that I need to learn about myself.
Maybe we need to do a little Twitch project.
Yeah, we can do, because Twitch is a great thing because you can do many things with it. Right, you can use it on your Xbox and stream your gaming, you know, or you can go on stream a podcast. But it's all about how you react with your audience and kind of how you build that up. You know, it's not like Facebook where you get it's about how many people you like, how many like you. It's about how you interact with people.
During the first lockdown, I used to work in an art shop in London, and I made quite a few friends on the art tip. And during lockdown, we all hooked up and we do drawing sessions on Instagram Live. Which is great, but it was basically me and my friends showing everybody what we were doing, and they could comment, but I think Twitch would be the next level, you know, and it's very much...
There's so many things out there that you can use. I mean, like StreamYard, what I use to do my live shows with, and what Shane did with the Reduced to Clear the other day. So StreamYard is something I use, and you can stream to both Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all these places at the same time. So we'll talk after this.
Yeah,
and maybe
I was going to say, blowing my mind. Anybody else keeping up?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I actually cancelled my Zoom the other day. My Zoom account's gone because I just use StreamYard now, because I can have meetings with it, I can record with it, stream with it. It's just fantastic. And then you have this studio set up where you can have videos, artwork, overlays, all these things ready just to bring up on the screen. It's just so fantastic.
Oh God, I can see like nervous days ahead where I'm going to have to go for it.
It's very easy, and I'll show you how if you like. I'll help you out. Because that's what we're here to do ultimately, right? We're here to help people with the biscuit, with USUC, with whatever I'm working. If I can help a creator go out there and take the next step, and I can learn off you as well. Your graphic design. I'm streaming. There we go.
Deal.
Yeah. So. What is you're working on now then? What is you want to show people on
I've got
Twitch?
these products on the way from Cult Pens. Oh, there goes the... And I actually painted with coffee granules once, you know. I did an illustration of the Shrewsbury Coffee House and used coffee as paint.
We were supposed to do that at the Shrewsbury Coffee House today, but they were closed. And I was like, no! So I very quickly had to message the guys from Daily Brews. Good coffee, very good coffee. With that grinder.
That's me necking the coffee, yeah. I was babbling then, wasn't I?
Painting coffee beans. Yeah, you were talking about.
So I've got this artwork on the way, these art materials, and I've got so many ideas. I'm kind of waiting for the end of the holidays, and I've got the product ready to go. So you'll see loads of me experimenting with different inks, pens, dip pens, just new types of paper. I'm really excited. So it's a case of me having a go to show the public what you could have a go with.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I like that, because sometimes life gets stale. It
Yeah.
does. You kind of like got to do the same thing, the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
day, humdrum. And when somebody comes in and goes, hey, is this amazing idea?
Yeah.
Why don't you try this instead? Sometimes you need that, don't you? That injection of...
Oh God, yeah, but it doesn't mean to say I'm going to nail it, because I won't use these materials before. So that's why it would be ideal for Twitch, really, just to say, look, I'm having a go. What do you reckon? What should I try? What do you think? You know, it's quite down to earth. It's not a case of me going, look at this amazing thing I've created. It's like I'm having a go with this, you know. So it should be fun.
I love videos like that. I mean, we spoke to Tat FB at
Yeah,
DRAWN,
love
and
that.
she's fantastic for stuff like that on Instagram. She's just like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
This amazing little video on Instagram, and I'm just like, wow.
She's funny with it though, right? Isn't she? I love her little comedy posts. The one with the carrot fingers freaked me right out.
She's fantastic. Do you? I mean, obviously, there's a great community of artists in Shrewsbury, Shropshire. Do you find that? Do you guys speak to each other? Do you take a lot from each other?
I mean, I've got another drawn lined up.
Yes?
Woohoo.
When's that?
Nobody knows yet, because I was waiting until I've got more time, September, just to send out the email, say who wants to get involved. It's the last weekend in November, and I've gone for 2 days because it was so many people wanted to
condensed.
Well, so many people wanted to do the last one, so I thought what I'll do this time is have 2 days, and there'll be a changeover so that different people can come on different days, and then I can get more people in rather than... I loved the vibe of the last one. There was about 12 people, and it made it nice. You know, I don't want to make it huge, but if you wanted to come back the second day, you'd see different people.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. Because the town does rally behind its creative people. It really does.
I mean, it's Christmas, and it's local makers, and you also get stuff at amazing prices because people are selling it direct rather than wholesale, so everyone's a winner.
Amazing. When it comes to stream making things like on Twitch or whatever you wanted to do, is there a case of trying to make sure... I always like to talk about the journey that you've had and the do's and the don'ts and the failures and the successes and things like that. Is there a case of, let's create a new generation of artists, this is what I did, didn't work for me? You know,
I'm very much like that.
Or do you think people have got to go out there and make their own mistakes?
Well, yeah, I was having this conversation with my mum the other day because Pearl started getting into music, and Mum was just saying, let her roll, you know, let her come up with her ideas, which I do. But then, if I've got something to bring to the table, it's how much do you don't want to colour someone's mind, but you want to give them a few little inspirational...
It's a really interesting idea. It's a great conversation actually, because I don't listen to like radio and stuff. I listen to my playlists on my phone. So my lad is listening to a lot of Beastie Boys and Linkin Park and all these kind of things that I listen to. So he loves that kind of music. But sometimes I feel like I should just put the radio on and let him make his own mind up.
I don't know, you see, I feel the same, because when you hear people talk on the radio, like musicians, about their inspiration, they'll often go back to their parents, right? And they'll say, this is what I listened to as I was growing up. If you gave them the broad spectrum, they'd listen to everything, but perhaps they wouldn't be they wouldn't have their own, I don't know, you see, it's nature or nurture, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, they have got to make their own path, young people have. I mean, like, I remember, like, things that I used to hear around me when I was a kid used to make me cringe, because that's mum and dad's music, you know?
Yeah.
I used to go out and find my own things. But now, later on in life, I'm like, okay, that wasn't so bad, actually, you know?
I'm all over the Stevie Wonder, because I'm named after a Stevie Wonder song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I just love, I'm well into all that. That takes me back, I like it.
Nostalgia is a powerful thing. It really is. And my lad is getting nostalgia now, which is weird. He's 6, right? It's funny because we were having dinner yesterday, and sometimes I'll throw in a bit of music quietly in the background while we're having dinner. And he'd had his food before us, because I was about to go out and do stuff. And so we're eating. He's in the bedroom, and I was listening to the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman.
Oh, yeah.
And that whoa came on, and you could see him peeling in from his bedroom, like, and it clicked, and he was kind of like, "Oh, what's this? I hadn't heard this in a while."
It's very iconic of an era, isn't it? Pearl cried when we watched that. Yeah. We went to see
The Greatest Showman.
Yeah. Well, she's not like the cinema for years, but we went to see Free Guy. And we went to see Free Guy on. I really enjoyed it. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him on my podcast. This is the greatest comedian on the planet at the moment, but he's just co-bought Wrexham Football Club. And so we're trying to get him on the show, which is going to be crazy because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
But I think he's coming to Wrexham for about 4 weeks soon. I know people that say they've got connections. We shall see. Watch this space.
That would be something, wouldn't
That
it?
would be. Well, we'd be talking about football because he just bought a Welsh football club, which is very random. Very random, yeah.
You know, I used to do football kits. Did I mention
Did you? What
I did.
teams?
No One Likes Us, We Don't Care, Millwall.
Really?
Yeah, but I was too scared to go to the match having done the kit because I was a bit like, what was it, Isle of Dogs or something, that area of London.
Wow.
I might have got that wrong.
Is it weird, like seeing things like, back in the day, maybe, but like when things that you designed and seeing people walking around in them? I made that.
Oh my
I
God.
did that.
I used to really want to follow people and photograph them if I see them wear something, and it's so uncool. You know,
I can imagine that.
And when somebody used to be on the Big Breakfast, I used to flip and go crazy, and I'd text my friends, like, put the TV on, put the TV on, and I don't know, maybe, I don't know whether I should have just left it, but I was so chuffed at the time, you know.
You mentioned Big Breakfast. What is the link with Big Breakfast?
I went to work when I started working myself, one of my jobs was freelancing for a t-shirt company, and he used to literally cycle to the media house, where it was in London, Camden Lock, and take them the clothes, and Denise would wear it, whatever, and
Wow.
so I'd be like, I'm still in touch with her. I text her sometimes.
I interviewed a guy called Rich Cook, who was a producer. He was almost like the young roadie that had just got a job on Big Breakfast, right?
Yeah.
And his story was fantastic because he went on to create Pop World, and now
Yes.
he's an amazing guy. He is. I love that show created so many people, so many stars now because they went, come on the show. It's just like a really nice feeling there. Do you know what I mean?
They're bringing the Big Breakfast back, aren't they? But I think it's just a one-off or something. I don't
They
know.
need to. It was great,
Yeah,
great morning TV.
It was, wasn't it? Although I think it was again of the time, but yeah, they were exciting times.
Better than bloody like Jeremy Kyle and stuff. You know, you got like fun stuff that people can enjoy.
I know. We need that, don't we?
That was like a step up for me as well because it gone from like cartoons and kids stuff to like, okay, let's learn about Big Breakfast was kind of a good step up for me as a kid.
It was, me too. Yeah, it was that you kind of learnt stuff, but it didn't drag you down.
No. I wanted to talk to you about these blooming BT boxes that people are seeing pictures of.
Aren't they awesome?
They are amazing, and I've seen so much positivity about them.
Yeah.
Because we do have these BT boxes strewn around the town, and before they were bland brown boxes. How did that all happen?
Well, you've got to credit the Shrewsbury Bid.
Yes, they are
because
fantastic.
It was their idea, and I thought, flipping heck, this is great, and I got one. I have to say, the cleaning of it was the hardest part.
So you had to clean it and prep it yourself?
Yeah. I didn't enjoy that. It seemed to take far too long. Just wanted to crack on with the artwork. Especially as the one I've got was like by a bin, so I think it was just a little bit unloved.
So yours is the one opposite the train station, right? Or just up from
No,
the train
that
station?
one's cool as well, isn't it? I think Naomi did that one.
Okay.
Mine's the end of Fish Street by Peaberries. So it's in a bit of a tricky place because the road is closed at certain times, so it's kind of hidden a little bit by the barricades. But hopefully when the road isn't, you can see it comes out. I did that, but all of them are awesome, and there's still some popping up. Lady did one just last week, and it looks great. I just think, it'd be nice to get a little map together, wouldn't it, to people to.
Oh my
find
God!
them.
Yeah, you know that they had the tennis balls for the W60
Yes,
a couple of years ago. It's something similar.
Yeah.
And I think Shane Chebsey and Charlie's got the comic book trail at the moment running through. I haven't been able to get out and do that yet. I've been so busy. I haven't even been able to come. It's the first time I've been in town for a very long time.
Well, it's not a bad time because it's a weird time during the summer months. Everybody sort of disperse, and I just know come September, you'll feel that things are starting to move in Shrewsbury, and everyone's sort of.
Well, I'm going away for a couple of days. This is a weird thing, but my wife is planning to take me away for my birthday, but I don't know where.
You don't know where you're going.
And this is painful for me because I'm really excited because my wife's doing this amazing thing. But listeners, you need to understand, my life is so meticulously planned through e-calendars and scheduling and interviews, release schedules, meetings, pod aid stuff. So when I'm like, okay, let's just go, that's really painful for me. When it comes to
can I just ask you if you've tried bullet journaling?
bullet journaling.
Bullet journaling, or bujo, as it's
What's
called.
that?
It's well, I've got into it because I work at the Right Here part time now and then, and where they sell the art materials in town.
Okay.
And they sell bullet journals, although we've sold out now. But what I got chatting to some of the customers about it, and they're like, "You've got to try it." So I'm trying it. It's oh gosh, how can I say? It's basically brings together all your calendar, your diary into one form where you sort of condense your daily jobs down, and then you have little symbols for each job.
Oh, okay. So like give yourself a key for the day. Like.
Yeah, and it's just, I could show you my bullet journal, but it'd be really boring on a podcast, wouldn't it?
We'll compare diaries after this.
all
Like,
right, yeah.
I don't even think I've got mine with me today, which is sacrilege. There's that coffee grinder again. And I do apologise that we've got this noise in the background, but at the same time, I think it's beautiful because
It's a lovely
Shrewsbury is
lovely
a coffee shop culture. So I like bringing these noises. We are on talks at the moment to try and get a studio. We did have one in the parade. We were making use of the empty units, but they ran out of empty units, so we had to move away. But
I could do with a space as well. Perhaps we can find one together.
yeah, well, that would be great. I mean, like, you got the English Bridge workshops where there's so many different artists going. Why not create a place where media people can come together, podcasts, vloggers?
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
I keep looking at the flax mill fondly, thinking, what's going to become of those spaces?
I need to get my butt over to the flax mill because there's so much great stuff going on there at the moment, especially with the design, like taking a historical building and then reinstalling that heritage, and as well as these brand new ideas. I think there's a really sexy idea.
Me too. I'm all over it, but I'm small fry, so.
What are you working on at the moment? Obviously, you got the pen stuff. I mean, we talked about that. Is there anything that you like? You've got commissions, and you got things that you want to do.
Yeah, I've got my new range, which I've got in my head and in my bullet journal, and I just need to get it down. I'm dying to do it, but I just keep thinking, right, summer holidays, Cherie, your hands are tied a little bit. Just get through those, and then.
I'm writing down bullet journal.
Yeah, do. Definitely do. You can make it what you want, a bullet journal. Pearl's got a scholarship to Oswestry School, which she's excited and nervous about. She's got a design scholarship, so that's really nice.
We were just talking about that while you were getting coffee. She was saying she's going to Oswestry, which I think is fantastic because there's so much you can do with that, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Again, it's like how much... Oh, I'm excited and scared for her too. So that's a new chapter for us. So I'm thinking, right, okay, when she goes there, that's my time to get on with my new range, get it sorted. You'll see it at DRAWN and wholesale too. I did a lot of wholesale. I sold in Urban Outfitters and Papersmiths, but during lockdown, it's not been right to do wholesale really because you don't know what the situation's like on the high street. So
yeah, of course.
I've been selling direct from my website, which is really great. I love it when people actually order direct from me. It's always like, wow.
This is something I wanted to look at because I'd love to start selling like biscuit merch,
Yeah.
There's an idea at the moment that I'm working on, but I don't know how to get along. Maybe we can talk afterwards. But
yeah.
I definitely want to start selling like T-shirts and hats and things. But like I said, printing things off wholesale. Like, oh yeah, I've got like 5 boxes of T-shirts. Can't shift them.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, you open a little shop down Grope Lane like I do.
Yeah, you told me about that shop in Grope Lane. What was that?
Oh, when I moved back from London, my mum started it, and then we did it together. It was called. Well, it started off calling Right. And then it was called Number 1 Grope Lane. Very typical of me, I couldn't stick to one thing. But we had a lovely cult following. People used to come from all around. We gave away Vice magazine, which was controversial in itself. But people would come and just... I still know people say to me, I remember your shop, and I love that.
People in Shrewsbury are so sentimental, aren't they? They do remember the things that they enjoyed when they were younger,
Yeah, we used to sell lots of sort of bows with skulls on and funky jewellery. I don't know. It was a shop. It had a life of its own. Actually.
A little bit of everything. There was one on High Street that was that's just closed actually, and they'd sell like huge statues of dragons.
And Pandora's Box.
Pandora's Box. That's it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, they've just closed down. I'd walk in there, and there'd be anything you want.
Yeah.
It was just great. I love shops like that.
Yeah.
Your mind just wanders.
I think you'd have loved our shop, actually. We had an old Space Invaders machine.
Oh, yeah.
And it was basically like a TV inside a big box. But, it was a cool game. But when you looked at the makeup of it, it was insane that it was so basic.
I was chatting to my lad the other day. I'm sorry to take. He was like, "Oh yeah, in the game in Wrexham, because I live in Wrexham, they let you play on the consoles now, and they do tournaments and stuff." I was like, "Hey kid, what if I told you you've always done that?" It's so weird. Like, this amazing new idea. They're letting you play the games now. I'm like, they've always done that. It's crazy, isn't it? But old concepts become new again, you know, and I think there's something to be said about that.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of my clothing brand was built on nostalgia. I had like a Space Invader, or just quirky things that people could identify with.
The geek culture, which I'm very, very proud to be a part of, is very much like geeks were always considered as like, you know, the nerds and but now they are king, absolutely king.
I like geeks. They're usually very clever and underestimated.
I think so too. And you know, when I was growing up in my sort of teens, 20s, I'd never think of walking around in a Sonic the Hedgehog T-shirt or something. Yeah. Whereas now you can definitely do that, and you can make a lot of money if you're going to make merch like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I did the uniforms for the Trocadero when they had the Sonic Sega World.
Wow.
Yeah, and we all got to go and hang out, and it was really odd. It was this Sega World. It was like a shopping centre just for Sega, but it's long gone now.
I saw pictures of like one of the first sort of E3. Like you have Comic-Con, don't you? Yeah, E3 is like the game version of it, and it is like a mall, a mall, and there's like I think it's Dreamcast, Xbox, original Xbox. Whereas now it's spread out across a whole, different buildings for different things, and shows you how quickly things are growing. And that's all graphic design. That is like striking images. Like video games are just one of those things that you've got about half a second to sell someone, on how something looks. If you're going to sell a new Halo game, those first 5 seconds of the trailer have got to look striking and beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's crazy how quick things move. I mean, with Eric, with Yelling at Clouds that I was telling you about, we covered a movie called The Founder, which is with Michael Keaton, and it's about the founding of McDonald's.
Oh yes, I know the one. Yeah.
And it was just a crazy thing for him to be like, we're going to do this. I was like, why? And he was like, when you see those golden arches, you see that M, what do? You get hungry.
Yeah.
It's kinetic art, baby. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, he's just so brilliant.
I know. I'm lapping this up. This is great.
Yeah, well, it's graphic design. This is what you do. That's the important of it. Pearl going to do that, to be part of a machine.
I know, but it's also if you're so aware, it's overwhelming. Sometimes a little bit of naivety just to get going is good. Otherwise, the potential can kind of cripple you, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's about. Like I'm not a graphic designer, but I've done so Shane Chebsey, who I've worked with before. I'd send him a logo. I'd be like, "What do you think of this?" He'd be like, "That line doesn't belong there. Why have you used 2 different colours there? You got 2 typefaces. It's disgusting. I hate it." In a Shane Chebsey polite way. Yeah. And I'd have to start again.
Yeah.
You got to.
Some people have just got the eye for it. I mean, my weakness is typography, and I really admire people that have got the patience and the time to look at the lettering and maybe change it, make it their own. That's not me. It's like when I do street art. The typography is, I have to use a stencil because there's no way I can spend hours, drawing out letters. It's not my style. Yeah. But the people who can, I really, really respect that.
And that's the thing, isn't it? When you look at art, I think I wrote here. Where is it? Is art a calling, whether it be fashion, animation, music, etc.? Because art is such a vast thing. If it moves you, it's art, right?
Well, if I don't do something creative, I go a little bit narky. I think I've come to realise that I used to have a reminder on my phone every day, meditate, and every day I wouldn't do it. But then I started to realise that drawing or indulging myself in whatever I was working on is actually my form of meditation. So it doesn't matter that I'm not doing my Headspace app bit every day, as long as I get to draw. And I'm trying to work into my day, especially once Pearl's at school, perhaps do a drawing before I launch into all my jobs, just something to lose myself in. And I think when you've got that in you, you have to vent it, otherwise you do become a little bit
I think it's so important, and I'm the same. I'm the absolute same as you, and it's Kat Merrick from Breathe Dance Yoga. I always mention her because she was like...
Great. I've had a class with her before.
She's fantastic. And she talks about how this podcasting thing that I do is meditation. I was like, what? Yeah. And it's true. About 50 or so people have walked past us while we've been having this conversation, and we haven't paid attention to one of them because we've been so engrossed in this conversation. And that's the power of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's weird how it works, but I think it's great. And this is the first time I've done an interview in about 2 weeks, and I have no shame in saying I had serious anxiety this morning. I was like, oh my God, because you come into a coffee shop, everybody's watching you, you got to get all this stuff out, set it all up, then you got to do an interview in front of people. I've seen a couple of people I actually know walk past, and I'm just like, it's weird.
I want to take a snap, actually. I was thinking a minute ago, I need to capture this because you look awesome. It looks just the whole setup looks great.
Well, it's all these wires. I need to get a wireless setup, We're waiting for funding at the moment, hopefully, fingers crossed. I might edit that out, actually, because as honest as I am on the show, I don't want to be able to, we need money, we're broke, but we're waiting for, hopefully, with better funding so we can get some better equipment and look even sexier.
I don't know, it's pretty sexy.
Oh, I'm good at these setup. With the world opening again, obviously we've got the food festival. We're going to be there. We got the folk festival going to be there. These are opportunities, aren't they, for artists to go and sell or to go and be part of.
Absolutely.
Are you guys feeling that as a community?
Well, I was at Turtle Dove's head office the other day. Seeing Gary's amazing. I don't know. I shared some pictures of it. Gary's a mural artist. He did the Seven Social and in Frankwell Easter and the Anchor inside. Anyway,
big flamingo. I love that.
Oh my God, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, well, you should wait and see what he's done at Turtle Dove's office. Oh, it's off the scale. Anyway, I went to see him, and Turtle Doves are going to be at the folk festival, and apparently they always do it, and they always have a great time. I can hear it where I live, but I've never been. I'm right opposite across the river.
I can't wait to go. It's going to be huge because we can't have a studio set up because it's too big. So I'm going to be walking around with microphones. Hello, word for the biscuit, And I hate doing that stuff. I hate it because you're stopping people in their tracks. That's the worst thing I hate. We're going to have a studio, and I'm like, would you like to come on the show? That's different. Shoving a mic in someone's face.
I don't think anyone minds. The trouble is if they don't know, I suppose if they think you're just trying to sell them something, but if they know what you're about, then they'd be well happy. It
was a young child that actually inspired me. It was at do you remember the driving festivals that they were doing?
Yeah, I could hear them as well. I get it all kind of just because I live nearby.
They were so good, and I did some interviews, but I was like, I need to speak to some people that are there, some of the audience. So I was asked, do you want to come on the biscuit? No. Do you want to come on the biscuit? No. And I was just getting so embarrassed, and then I kind of snapped, and I was kind of like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, would anybody like to come on the biscuit? I was waving my, would you like to come on? Would you like to come on? And in the background,
I heard this. How did that work out for you?
One kid in the background went, oh, come on.
Oh, really? Oh, yes.
And I turned around, and there's this family, and I walked over to them, and I was like, would you mind if I spoke to your child? Vulnerable person. He's like, oh, yeah, of course. So I spoke to this kid and the family. The guy 3 cars down, so I was doing this interview. He was like, I'll come on too. That kid,
oh my gosh,
inspired me to be like, sometimes you just got to be out there.
It's hard though, isn't it, doing creative work? It grinds you down sometimes. And at the end of the day, it's just keeping going, because sometimes there's no recognition, there's no nothing, but it's just picking yourself up and keeping going is what keeps you in the game.
That's just really inspiring. The audience can't see it. I just lean back. I was like, you're so right, because I'm struggling so much right now, because I'm working so hard, 24/7, every single day. There's a 9 to 5, and then there's doing what I'm doing now, which is just ridiculous hours, editing, writing emails, not getting responses, writing more emails and not getting responses. I said to my wife this morning, I was like, nothing's going right. And she was like, Phil Gillam just released a post talking about how amazing your podcast was. I was like, okay, but... And she was like, no, things are working. But in my head...
That's what I was saying earlier about not owning your success.
I'm frustrated because I'm trying to push this thing. Pod Aid, I want it to be something that will inspire and grow next year and create positive outlook on what we do.
It. And I really think when the summer's over and everybody comes back, and just gets on, and then it'll really thrive. We'll all tune in. It's a weird time during the summer. We're all sort of trying to keep things going, but nobody's really here. Do you know what I mean?
We've taken a knock in our listeners, but I think that's because a lot of parents, a lot of people going away.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen to our commute and stuff. There's a lot of parents with their kids at the moment, like my wife and like us at the moment. So they haven't got time to listen, but they'll come back. I know they will.
Yeah, no.
Cherie, we've been going for 50 minutes now.
I'm loving it.
It's
It's
great.
nice. I'm just
I
about to
feel-
finish my coffee.
The reason I've spoken to you is because we spoke at if the listeners remember the episode we did at Drawn, I think I spoke to you for about 7 or 8 minutes.
And
I
we
was
were
like,
all masked up, weren't we? It was
We
a
were
bit...
masked it is weird not being masked up anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
it's such a
But
strange
it's
time.
hard to know whether you should or you shouldn't. We're sort of in limbo, aren't we? You know, some people are self-conscious and obviously nervous, so you want to make them feel at ease. And then everybody else, you know, is like, oh, we moved on, or have we moved on, you know?
I saw this horrible footage of some guy in New York. He went up to some guy on the tube, and he's like, "Why the f are you wearing a mask? You shouldn't be wearing a mask. You're sheep and all stuff." And I was just
Yeah.
if people want to wear a mask, I've worn a mask today. You know, I walked in here,
Yeah.
I got told it's fine. You don't have to wear. Took it off to have the conversation, and then. But walking through like Pride Hill or whatever, I'll definitely wear it. Do you know what I mean? Just to keep people at ease.
I sold so many masks.
Oh yeah, I was going to say you should have.
It went absolutely insane. Because I sell on Not on the High Street, so I decided to launch the mask, and I showed my family, and they were like, you know, are people really going to be wearing masks? You know, what do you think? And I was like, well, I'm going to give it a go. Anyway, Boris did his speech. Oh my God, I was literally ping, 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 and it was one of the most crazy moments of my life. I just had to get anyone who would help me pack, and luckily they were made locally in Wales, and they did an amazing job. But when I started trying to publicise them on Facebook, I shared a thing about them. They won't have any of it. In fact, I had people saying, you know, they were calling them muzzles, and it was really weird because I was trying to respond, but there was a lot of talk about, and I didn't really understand the political side of it. I still don't really.
It's such a toxic place at the moment, Facebook. You can put like, the sky is blue, and people will be like, how dare you tell me how I should view the sky, you know?
I know, so it made me a bit nervous. I wasn't really sure what they thought I was trying to do. So
I mean, we spoke to Amy. She created her own company during the pandemic, Masks by Amy, right? And I got her on because I thought, this is a young girl. She started doing this thing. She was working in textiles, and all of a sudden, bam, she had this business. And people needed masks. They were getting in touch with her. She was raising money for the NHS. She was doing these amazing things, but then it just stopped. And I do wonder, like, what does that do to a person? Like, when it, you know.
Well, I must admit, I was selling such a huge amount that I thought this could be the start of another level of my business. But people didn't really come back and see me as a brand. They just saw me as a product, which is what often happens when you sell on a platform like Not on the High Street. They just buy the product, not the person.
Yeah.
When people do look me up after that, and I mean, I had a few orders on my website saying I found you, but not as much as I thought. I think we were all just panicking. Just, you know.
Headless chickens throughout the pandemic and time. Well, say we're still in it. We're still in it. I mean, America's like cancelling a lot of gigs at the moment. Australia's gone back into lockdown. There's rises of cases here. I don't want to panic people, the listeners, but you know, we're not over yet. I think you need to be. Don't throw away your masks, people, because you may need them again.
There's talk of third jabs now, isn't there? Just so that everybody's gonna.
We shall see. What we've got to do is be kind to each other and be sensible people.
Amen.
Where can people find you on social media if they want to follow you?
Oh, yeah, please follow me. Cherie Did This is my main thing, and most people follow me on there because that's where my finished product is. A little insight into me, but mostly my products. But if you want to see the art stuff and what I'm getting up to, that's Cherie Jerrard. I'm usually having to spell it out, but that's boring, so just give it a go. And obviously my website, CherieDidThis.com. But
it's a great website, by the way. You should definitely go and check it out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Of course, I did a little bit of research before I did this, but I remember last time as well. Like, if you're going to make a website, you're going to make it striking, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? So
I've done it in the past where you get someone to do it, and then they change careers or they go off and you're abandoned. So I thought, right, I've got to step up again. I had to learn how to do it myself. So.
Well, this is why I got Web Orchard to make my website for me, because I was just like, I had a Wix page which I hadn't got the .com for. I was just like, you just go to the Wix page, and it looked awful. It was terrible.
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys about stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
So, of course, we're doing Pod 8, guys. Pod 8 is a charity event we're putting together to raise money for Lincoln Davis. It's going to be a 24-hour-long podcast. We're going to start at 9.
Sorry.
I mean,
I want to tune in about what's going to be the worst point. When do you start?
we start at 9 a.m. on the 29th and we finish at 9 a.m. on the 30th. So we're going to go live all the way through.
I reckon about 6 a.m. is going to be a bit rogue. Or maybe before coffee time. I don't know, maybe constant coffee.
It's
3 a.m.
I think I'm just going to be so glad to be doing it at the time, because it's the plan in the build-up. What people don't understand is when it comes to the schedule, I've messaged people like 6 or 7 weeks ago, I've got a full schedule, and they're coming up to me and they're going, oh yeah, we can come on now, and I'm like, I've got a full schedule, what am I supposed to do? So it's just a nightmare having to move people around. We have managed, I can't announce the guest yet because we can't, we've got to figure out the times, but we've got, I consider a bit of a coup. We've got a guest that I believe is just going to be off the scale.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about that. But yes, Pod Aid is fantastic. I mean, we've got our sponsors with Reach. They've done our logos, our marketing, our PR. So thanks to them, we've got all this going on. There's been posts and I think there's stuff going on in the paper and Shropshire Live. We're going on the radio next week. There's lots of stuff going on for it. So watch this space.
How are you going to go to the toilet or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be times because
he's been gone for half an hour.
There's a whole team of us. So I mean, Jamie and TS are coming up there, ex-USUP members of mine, and we've got Shane and Jules, and there's going to be plenty of people there. So if they have to carry on for like half an hour, so I can go out and I can get something to eat and then I'll come back. And as long as the stream goes for 24 hours, we'll be fine. We'll be fine, I think. Okay. And it's all to raise money for Ling and Davis, and we're still looking for sponsors. So guys, what we're doing is we're selling sponsored hours. So for £100 you can have an hour, and we'll be like, this hour is brought to you by.
Ooh,
and we'll
voiceover.
We'll display your logos, and we can play promo videos, and that all of that money goes towards Ling and Davis. We've got 24 hours to sell, so that's £2,400 if we sell every single hour. So if you want to sponsor an hour, get in touch via our website, which is the shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk, and that's made for us by Web Orchard. Pod Aid is going to be fantastic. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm excited, but I do want to tune in at the ropiest time, and I'm thinking, how do you do this?
I was thinking of 7 a.m. I think we're going to be doing Reduced to Clear, possibly, with the guys that are making that film, and we're going to do some improv, post 24-hour sort of podcast improv, which will be fun, which I'm usually really good at, but after all that,
I reckon you'll be buzzing by the end. There'll just be a lull, a few hours.
I'm trying to think about how I'm going to do this with caffeine. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah. You don't want to go all out at the beginning, that's for sure.
No.
Hold it until you're really on the edge, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll be like, welcome to the show. Oh, my name's Alex Largy.
I also do dance classes, Maybe I should... you need to get your heart pumping at some point.
Yeah, we should do that, because, we've got so many different people coming in. We should get some belly dancing going. Yeah, absolutely. How often do you train for your dancing? Do you do it every day, every week?
I try to do as much as I can fit in, but again, it's a trade-off. You've only got so many hours in the day, haven't you? But I work at Anytime Fitness and Roughton.
Oh, okay. I need to get my ass moving. I've lost all this weight. There are plans to go out running. I've worked at routes and stuff. It's just getting the confidence to go out there and out on the street running.
Oh man, running! I've tried it. I just can't keep it up.
I want a gym to go and just. Because I used to be so fit, genuinely. I used to work out 5 times a week, run 5k a day, and I had a six-pack.
Should I be saying while you're looking on here? I think I mentioned it before you started recording. Didn't I?
I feel like I've got a case of body dysmorphia, because I look at myself in the mirror, I'm kind of like, ew. But then I look on the scale and my, the clothes I'm wearing now, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing too bad.
Yeah, you're doing good.
It's all about believing in yourself. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also, guys, before we get out of here, I want to tell you about my radio show. Every Thursday at 7 p.m, I do Naughty Talk, Noughtie.
Yeah, do you know, I didn't know it was that naughty for ages. I thought it was Naught.
See, there you go. Because it's a silly thing. I shouldn't have done that, really, because it is spelt wrong, isn't it?
It's memorable.
Yeah, well, once you remember it. But, guys, if you do want to... the music is sort of not safe for work, because they let us play the swearing music, which is fine, which is cool. So if you're going to listen to that, just don't listen to it around the kids. We won't bleep out the music. But yeah, Naughty Talk is my radio show. Please tune in Thursdays at 7 p.m. every week.
So where do we find that?
It's on Splash Damage Radio. You can download the Zeno app. Zeno. Zeno is an app. Right. You download it, and then you can follow Splash Damage Radio via the app, and then so you can listen to it.
I need to write that in my bullet journal.
Yes, I need to find a bullet journal. Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Thank you.
I said it was going to be half an hour, and we've gone over half an hour.
I'm
so
sure you can delete all the rubbish.
there's no rubbish in there. It's all great. Even the grinders. Keep them in. Thank you very much, Cherie. You've been
You're
great.
welcome. Thank you.
This has been the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. We'll catch us next time. Peace out, guys.